Okay, guys, welcome back to Declare Independence. Man, I'm already smiling. I'm already smirking. So there is so much to unpack from the last few days. It is January 10th right now. It is 10 days before Joe Biden's inauguration. We're going to go back. And first of all, if you're new to my channel, just know that I am very serious when I say I'm not partisan at all. I am unaffiliated. I am an independent. All I believe is the facts and what's true, okay? If it's not true, I'm really not interested in it. Do I have opinions on things? Absolutely, and that's why you're here. So we're going to talk about January 6th just for a minute and about the Capitol riots. And this has been such an interesting thing. Talk about the polarization of our country. So, myself, just like all of you, you saw everything that happened over the summer, okay? You saw cities burning, this and that. And not only did all the mainstream networks call them protests, they doubled down and used the word peaceful protest, okay? While calling what happened at the Capitol a riot, which it was. That is a riot. A riot is when a violent group of people disturbs the peace. That's literally what a riot is, okay? A crowd of people violently disturbing the peace, okay? Absolutely happened. Yes, I saw a video just like you did of somewhere, the Capitol's big. If you've never been to a National Mall, it's enormous. There are like 500,000 people there listening to Trump speak. Some of the officers let some people waltz right in, okay? While I saw other videos of cops literally getting assaulted, punched in the face, jammed in the door. Okay, you got to call a spade a spade. It was a riot. I don't think that all the people rioted, and actually it was only a small percentage of the people that even attempted to get inside, whether by force or they were voluntarily let in. It was only a few hundred people. However, a few hundred people is the same reason why people were upset at Black Lives Matter protests, right? Because protests turned to rioting and looting. The difference between what happened over the summer and this is, well, I believe that both are riots because they were violently disturbing the peace and destroying property, happened in both places. You can hardly equate what the Trump supporters did to what happened over the summer. However, it is insurrection. That is when it's an attack on the government. I mean, you can call it whatever you'd like. In theory, you could almost call burning down a DMV insurrection because it's government property, right? People broke into the Capitol as Congress was meeting. Now you say, oh, people were let in, and that might be true. Maybe some people in some places were let in. If that's the only videos you're watching, you're clearly not interested in getting all the facts, and you want to feel good about you want to have some confirmation bias. Okay, so people definitely broke into the Capitol. Other people were allowed in the Capitol, okay? Both those facts can be true at the same time, right? The Capitol is enormous, and you would know this if you'd been there. If you haven't been there, several of the people interviewed who were there for the first time who got in talked about their experience and how big it was, and how there are some people that were creating chaos, and some people were just having a muck, putting their feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk, this, that, and the other. Okay, so the second thing is you have some people claiming that it was all Antifa, that over 95% of the people were Antifa, and Black Lives Matter activists, and how there weren't any Trump supporters, and that's just unequivocally false. Okay, now I would admit that your average Trump supporter is probably middle-aged and older, likely to be found at a Cracker Barrel, a little overweight. Definitely did not fit the bill of the people that were scaling the wall at the Capitol. Those did not look like your typical Trump supporters. Now, I don't know, a lot of people inside that I saw pictures of, I mean, if those are costumes, they were dang good costumes on some of them. I know it doesn't take but $20 to buy a Trump flag, but I don't know. I feel like if it was a staged act, that it was awfully convincing, because there were some definite Trump supporters there. Even some of the people interviewed doubling down, the people that were identified, people that were seen at Trump rallies throughout the summer. I mean, if they were Antifa in disguise for months and months and months, they basically had to have been ostracized from their friend groups, creating posts and attending Trump rallies and posting about it. If that was a ruse that over the last 8-10 months, that's incredible. But I don't believe it. I do believe, just like we see here, I'll just cover this dude for a minute. He was an Antifa Black Lives Matter activist from Utah. He's not just like a guy who attended protests. He spoke at rallies. Like, this is an act, and he was arrested in Utah during the Black Lives Matter protests in Salt Lake. He was absolutely identified in the Capitol. Not a Trump supporter. He made threats about Donald Trump in some of his speeches. And this is, you can go back and listen to this stuff. I don't need to hash this out. But so two things can be true at the same time. Were there Black Lives Matter? At least one that we know of identified. I don't know if you call him a leader. Some of the articles I read said that he was ostracized from some of the groups and he was not welcome at some of the things that they were doing. Sure, but not a Trump supporter and an Antifa Black Lives Matter activist. Okay, so at least one, and usually people don't act alone, especially in those groups. Neither side would act alone. Trump supporters don't go anywhere alone, and if you're Antifa, you're not going anywhere alone. So I would assume that both of those things could absolutely be true at the same time, and that's okay. It's okay for two things to be true at the same time. Okay. So next thing, I mean, this is how deep the rabbit hole is getting now. And this is what I told my friend. I told my buddy, we like to refer to it as the Great Pumpkin. If you ever seen Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin, you know, a lot of us have been sitting in the pumpkin patch for a long time. You know, there's been, oh, these people are going to get arrested. There's all these people going to Gitmo. They expanded the prison to put all these people in. Okay, none of that's happened. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen or couldn't happen, but it hasn't happened. And since we're focused on what facts are, January 20th, Mr. Joe Biden is going to be inaugurated the 46th president of the United States and giving the State of the Union speech. Okay. If that doesn't happen, this is what I believe to happen. That's what I believe is going to happen. If you watch some of my other videos, I've felt that other things could happen. But when the facts change, I change my mind. Okay. That's an old quote from John Maynard Keynes, who's part of FDR's administration. When the facts change, I change my mind. What do you do, sir? So the facts are that January 6th did not go down how a lot of Trump supporters thought it would go down. Okay. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought there was a lot of theatrics in the Capitol when Congress met, and they were, it was a theater for hours and hours and hours. It was theater. People choosing to side with Mr. Trump, people choosing to oppose Mr. Trump, and giving their little 5-minute spiel about how it's so wrong for democracy to not unite the people, and the other people saying it's so wrong for democracy to not look into the evidence, and the other side saying there is no evidence, you're creating a stir. Okay. So I know, and that, Congress, they don't care. It's just political theater. They're worried about 2 years from now keeping their job, right? And that's what's crazy about Congress is they basically have to interview every 2 years to get their job back, whereas the Senate is every 6 years. So here's the story. Here's how deep the rabbit hole is getting now. Now, I digressed. I'm saying 10 days from now, if Joe Biden does not give the State of the Union speech, I will go down whatever rabbit hole you want, eat whatever the funny mushrooms you want, Alice, because you could probably convince me of a lot of things if that doesn't happen. That's what I believe to happen. I'm 99% confident of that. So here's what's going on now. Linwood's over on Parler, and he's saying that there's going to be mass blackouts, and that the Insurrection Act has been signed, and the military's in charge of the government, and all these people are involved in child pedophilia rings, including the Vice President of the United States, who last time I checked, he wouldn't even meet one-on-one for a meeting with a woman if his wife were not present. Okay. And now all of a sudden this guy's involved in child pedophilia. Okay. Now Could that be true? Well, at least coming from a defamation lawyer, that he knows that how offensive slander is and what that can do to you, and that you'll likely, if you're wrong about these things, you'll be paying out for the accusations and the claims you make against somebody's character. That's defamation. Something that he has fought for 43 years against, right? He's the one making these claims. Could it be true? Let's humor him for a second and say, sure, that's going to be true. There's going to be mass blackouts all around the United States. That people are going to be getting raided. Your internet's going to be down, and the president's going to be using the emergency broadcast system to share information since his Twitter's been blocked, and he's down to like an Etch-a-Sketch to get his information out there. I'm not from Missouri, but you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to show me, and talk is awfully cheap. The other thing that's been said by several people, including the former lieutenant general, I listened to about a 10-minute thing with him he had a group of women around him talking about some of the things that happened at the Capitol. He claims that in with Antifa, he's again peddling it's all Antifa people, that there were secret operatives in there that stole or got hold of Nancy Pelosi's laptop, and that's why they're freaking out and want to invoke the 25th Amendment against Trump and get him out of office because they're running scared now. And that he's seen the laptop. That's what he said. He saw the laptop. Now, there are several other people from the Democratic Party who had their devices taken, stolen. I would love to see, I mean, you'd got to think, okay, so they live stream everything on C-SPAN, okay, in the Capitol. I have yet to see any video, maybe I gotta look harder, of video of the people that took the devices. Now, I know Nancy Pelosi's device was inside her office. It was broken into, and there's a picture of a well-known Trump supporter with his feet on her desk, okay, in the office. So, again, you can't say this is all Antifa people. Somewhere along the lines, all these devices get taken. Where are they? What's on them? Now, and we know that her laptop actually was stolen because Nancy Pelosi's senior aide sent out a tweet that said it was used only for presentations, and that there's nothing secure on the laptop. Could that be true? Could two things be true at once? Could she be scared of what's in those presentations and it also only have information used in presentations? Sure, that could possibly be true, but these are some audacious claims. You got the MyPillow guy on a private jet saying he knows for certain that Trump will he will have another 4 years as president. Guys, this has gotten like, and you know, I've mentioned a lot in this video how there are many, many times where two things can be true at once, right? Black Lives Matter can be a riot, and the Capitol can also be a riot without having to be partisan. These are just facts. But this is a time, gosh dang, my eyes are watering. This is a time when two things cannot be true at once. Either Lynn Wood is swallowed so much Q Kool-Aid, and I'm here right now to denounce, I'm here to denounce Q stuff. Okay, I believe, now this is my opinion, I do believe that there is child pedophilia that goes on in Hollywood. I absolutely believe that. I believe that there are wealthy people who get their rocks off by targeting young girls and sexually abusing them. This happens every day of the week, all over the country, all over the world. I believe that that's true. However, the claims that the vice president of the United States and top Democrats are all involved in a child pedophilia ring, and they all have dirt on each other, and that's how they stay in power, is either 100% true or it is not true. These are not things that can both be true at once. And so, as I mentioned before, tell you what, if there's a blackout in the next few days and I can't send text messages out, I can't watch anything, the media can't talk, I'll tell you what, I'll change my tune next time I post. But right now I'm going to tell you I'm not from Missouri, but I'm going to act like you're going to have to show me some facts. So I will sit and wait I, like you, I saw everything that happened on January 6th. I condemn people breaking into government buildings, and whether you want to loosely call that an insurrection, I didn't see any weapons of anyone that broke in. I didn't see anyone with weapons. That doesn't make it okay. You can kill somebody with your bare hands, especially some of those feeble 80-year-old congressmen and women. I'm not saying that was their intention. If things went a different way, but it was a riot. That was a riot. I can't condone that crap, because all it does is, and I'm sitting in the middle, I'm just watching, eating my popcorn, but all it does is make the good law abiding people that were there, like they reckon there could have been 500,000 plus people there, and maybe about 1,000 bad apples, a 500 to 1 ratio that destroys any movement that you have. And as somebody who is pretty conservative, it makes people like me who hold conservative values look bad, because you can't be apologetic to this stuff. You can't explain away or say that it's okay, or like, it's just silly. So, but I do believe that if there is any validity to it, then we're going to see some evidence. We would have to, right? Like, there's no other way for Linwood to be found true and me not see it. There's no way for that to happen, for people to find out, oh, there's a sitting senator that's been arrested. Like, these things are going to be in the public space. So I'll sit back and I'll eat my popcorn. Let me know what you think. There's a lot to unpack. Really, this is worth 3 or 4 videos, but I'm going to do my best to actually stay up to date and read a little deeper into these things, rather than just skimming the surface, as I've done a lot. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. If you're not subbed to the channel, go ahead and sub. And as always, God bless and have a great day.